Hi, welcome back to the Small Firms Big Marketing Podcast. I'm Kelly O'Donnell, CEO of O'Donnell IMC, where we help solo, small, and mid-sized accounting firms do efficient and effective marketing and business development. So we've kind of, through this podcast, season 1, we're calling it From Prospect to Client. So we're taking you through the journey of a new prospect or a lead all the way to when we actually sign them as a client. So we've been through a few things already in this season, kind of spiffing up our online presence, understanding who we are as a brand and who our firm is as a brand, and are we translating that in person and on all the different touch points. And we might understand a little bit about our personality style and how we connect with others through the DISC profile that we worked on last episode. So today we're going to look at once you have a new lead come through the door, either a referral or they found you online and they called or they emailed, what then? So how are we taking this prospect from that point to the meeting? So Jen, let's talk. I've got Jen Laidlaw here again with me. She's a communications and leadership training specialist. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about how you prepare for that meeting and then what you do in the meeting. So Jen, how should an accountant that has a new prospect come through the door, how should they be preparing for the meeting that inevitably is set up?
So the first thing you want to do is think, make a plan, right?
Make a plan.
So, and it doesn't really take that long. But just preparing yourself and writing down, and really write it down, even though it seems silly sometimes, but writing down, why am I having this meeting, right? Like, what's in it for me? Why am I having this meeting? And then also thinking about, why does the client want to have this meeting, right? So we know why we're there most of the time, right? To make a sale, to make some money, right?
Get hired.
Right, get hired. But why is the client there, right? And then thinking about what you want to happen at the end of that meeting. So it might be a sale, but it might not be, right? It might just be like another meeting, or I'm networking, right? Or whatever it is, right? So I think the hardest part is really to think about, why is the client there, right? And sometimes we can't answer that question because we maybe don't know. So if we don't know, if you find yourself sitting down, writing down why I'm there, why the client's there, and what I want at the end, and you can't figure out why the client is there, you should just ask. Reach out ahead of time and just say something like, in order to be really prepared for this meeting that we're going to have, right? It would help me to understand exactly what it is that you're looking for. And that's okay. There's no reason that you would know, maybe, right? So asking the question is a good idea, just so that you can have everything ready.
Sure. And you may even want to circle back to the original referral source. So if a colleague in another industry is who this client or prospective client came through, circle back to that person and just say, hey, thank you for the referral. I'm meeting with client X of yours next week. What do you know about what they're struggling with? What are they looking for, do you think? So that can give you some intelligence that may be useful going into that new business meeting.
Exactly.
Great. So now we're in the meeting. We're getting to the meeting. What should accountants be thinking about in the new business meeting? So you're sitting across from a client. What are some things that we need to keep in mind?
Well, they're simple things, but sometimes they're overlooked. The first thing is a handshake. And it really is a hand out and double pump, not too firm, not too squishy, not too sweaty, right? But that's important. The next thing is eye contact, looking at someone, but not looking at them too creepy, right? Just the right amount of eye contact builds trust and relationships, but too much eye contact is maybe a little bit weird, right? So, but just some basic meeting etiquette kind of things.
Sure. And by the end of the meeting, hopefully you've built a relationship with this person. You've connected with them. You understand where they're coming from a bit. How should they end the meeting? We want to get agreement on something.
Right.
So I'm thinking of, you proposing that you'll get the quote or the estimate to them in 3 days and them agreeing to it. So that's an example of a way that you can get your client or prospective client to gain agreement with you at the end of the meeting. And that can be really important because that gets them in the mindset that you guys are on the same team. You're working towards the same goal, even if that's just moving to the next stage in the pipeline, which is get them an estimate.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to have a really strong close. And just like what Kelly said, agreement, right? So I'm going to send something to you by the end of the day Tuesday, and you're going to send something back to me by the end of the week, right? Or by Friday at 5 p.m. Just being as clear as you can about expectations, about what's supposed to happen next, just so that there is clear alignment and everyone is on the same page.
Right. So, good luck to everyone who's going into a new business meeting this week. Hope that's lots of you. Be sure to check out o'donnellimc.com. We have lots of new business development strategies and tactics for you on the website. And the show podcast will be on there. All of our podcasts from season 1, from prospect to client, that's what we're calling season 1, can be found on there. So lots of good education for you. Come back next time for our last 2 episodes in the season, where we'll talk more about this new business development, taking a prospect to client.